Hello and welcome back to 10 out of 10 Mood Watch Again with Lauren and Ross.
Hello.
Happy New Year. Hope Santa was good to you. We're back fresh, rejuvenated, ready for season 2, and we've got loads of cool new ideas for future us. Future us to worry about.
Yes.
So for our first episode back, we were like, what will we do? What will we do? And then we realised it was that time of year to have the Lord of the Rings marathon. So we were like, we'll come back with a bang and we'll try and do an overview of the Lord of the Rings movies. Now, me and Ross exclusively watch the extended editions because we're arseholes. So we're now going to try and condense 12 hours of movies into like an hour podcast. But I'm telling you right now, and you'll be able to tell because you're the one that's listening to it right now, this is not going to be an hour long. This is going to be a long boy. Do you know what I mean? We've got a lot to say. Like, Lord of the Rings is a staple in this gaff and across many gaffs in our friend group, never mind the rest of like the fandom. This movie's just had like a massive impact on us as well as everybody we mentioned, and we're absolutely buzzing to get in and for you to sit down and listen to everything we have to say, and we'll try and not be pure boring. Also, shout out to our guy, Duncan Fife, who does the coolest Lord of the Rings tattoos. So I'll stick some of them on the Instagram story for you to go and have a swatch. But if you're looking for a Lord of the Rings tattoo, hit my guy up. Anyway, Ross, for the first time of 2025, geez your shite.
I'm just going to do it for all three of them.
Why then?
So, released between 2001 and 2003. All of them were directed by Peter Jackson. Now, hold your breath, because this is starting a lot of people, funny enough. So, starring Elijah Wood, Ian McKellen, Liv Tyler, Viggo Mortensen, John Aston, Bernard Hill, Kate Blanchett, John Rhys-Davies, Christopher Lee, Miranda Otto, Billy Boyd, Dominic Monaghan, Orlando Bloom, Hugo Weaving, Andy Serkis, and Big Sean Bean.
Yes.
There's plenty more in it, but could be here all day.
We're trying to hit over.
So there's a combined budget of $281 million.
Holy fuck.
And the box office for all three combined was $2.9 billion.
That makes absolute sense. Like,
yeah.
These movies are fucking class. I mean, how do you say a general overview? I've just put the epic journey of two hobbitses trying to destroy the Ring of Power while the Fellowship backs them up for the sidelines.
Aye.
Basically, aye. So I'll do a mashup, right? So why do you love this movie, one? And then also, when was the first time that you watched this film?
Yeah, I mean, how can you not love these movies?
No, I know.
The story's great. Fuck, it's the best fantasy like movies ever made, in my opinion.
Yep, hands
like,
down.
Everything's great about them. They look great. They still look great.
Like, they've aged so fucking well.
As the first time I've seen it, I watched the first one in a friend's house, The Fellowship. Then I think after that, it was my aunt that took me to the other two in the cinema when they came out every year. So what about you?
So it was me, my dad and Lee. I don't know where my mum was. I think my mum bowed out probably. And we all went to the cinema to see it. And I remember, like, the first one, and I remember just sitting down and just being like mouth open, so into it, like the whole time, like loved it, like just pure in awe of what you're seeing. And then we all went for a Burger King afterwards to discuss, and then this became the tradition of like over the 3 years we would go watch it and then go for a Burger King, and then obviously you and me do the marathons every year. Do you know what I mean? I mind one year I did it with my dad over Christmas, and he was like, this is a pure long set. Like, genuinely, my mum went to work and came back and we were still watching the movies. I'm the same as you, though, for the reasons why I love it. Like, these are just three perfect films in my eyes. Like, apart from the 5 endings at the end of Return of the King, but we'll get into that. Do you know what I mean? They look immaculate. Everyone's good in them. Like, there's you'll hear it when we get to A. We don't have a lot of A's for 12 hours of content. To only have 3 or 4 A's is chef's kiss. Do you know what I mean? We'll dive into thoughts and opinions. So basically what we've done is we've broke it up to like Fellowship, Two Towers, Return of the King, so that we're not pure rambling. Because we were like, if we do 3 separate episodes for all 3 of them, we're going to just say the same things for each one, or like harken on to the next one. So hence why you're getting it this way.
Aye.
So we'll start off with the Fellowship.
Well, I just want to add first is, as you said, we watched the extended editions. which the extended one has a runtime of an 11 hours and 22 minutes, and the theatrical release is only 9 hours 3, so you're getting an extra 2.5 hours
Yeah.
between like all three movies, which it is long, but you need to separate a lot of time,
Yeah.
like aside for this.
100%. I do think by the third one, it does feel really long.
Yeah, I believe the third one had the most extended scenes.
Third one's like 4 and a bit hours long.
It's a long watch. I mean, we watch it in one sitting every time.
Yeah.
But I think that if you can't do it, but like that is tough.
Yeah.
It's tough to do.
Right, so we'll dive into the Fellowship.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Fellowship does not fuck about. Like, the music, the world building, the first 15 minutes of Cate Blanchett being like, this is the rings, this is what happened, Sauron's a prick, the ring's been lost, and then you're in the Shire. Like, what a setup, do you know what I mean? In the first 20 minutes, you've got enough backstory to be like...
Oh, cool. Everything's explained.
Do you know what I mean? And like, as soon as the music starts, as soon as the visuals come, oh my god, love it, great. Do you know what I mean? Like, even within the first like half an hour of the film, I'm just like, I'm so happy to be here. Do you know what I mean?
They've done well to like streamline the book into these movies, like, because these movies each could have been 4 hours long.
100%.
But like the stuff they had to cut out. Yeah, because I mean, like they've cut out full characters and like full side plots and that in these, and it's. Like, I'd love to see a version where everything's covered, but I don't think we have the days required for it.
A week? We'd need to watch it all in a week. Yeah. See, when Gandalf comes into Hobbiton, and obviously that's the first time, obviously, when Frodo's like, Gandalf! And that's when you first start to see the kind of size difference in the Gandalf and the Hobbits. But then just as it carries on, like, honestly, I know we say it every time, practical works, do you know what I mean? There is a reason this still looks great. Like, it's believable that Gandalf's walking into Bilbo's gaff and battering his head off things, like, do you know what I mean? And even like bits later on in the film where they're all walking in the line and you can see all that. Brilliant. 40 out of 10, man. I
mean, the visual effects in this, like the CGI, you could tell, like, it's 20 years ago, but you need to forgive them for some of it. But the way they done it was like they just have like different heights of people.
100%.
So when it'd be like, all right, Gandalf's going with the hobbits, so they got smaller people in to not do the size difference and that. And I think with when he was in the Hobbit home, and it was just like all massive furniture for Bilbo and that, and it's like they don't do enough of that. And like this is so. Like with some of the characters, when it's like the smaller people they use, it can be noticeable. But it just works. Like, it's crazy how they can do that. But nowadays, it's like it's just so ridiculous.
Totally. Honestly, like, genuinely, the practical effects, the practical makeup and stuff, like, is one of the many reasons why this movie's aged beautifully. Do you know what I mean? It's 20 years old, which is aging us horribly, right? But like, it's just so good. Oh, it's just so good. And like, even we'll get into it more when we talk about the second one, when Gollum comes properly into it, but even the fact that this movie, like, they built technology to make this film. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, beautiful.
Imagine being Peter Jackson, be like, right, I want to do the Lord of the Rings.
Everyone will have laughed you out of the place.
Like the idea that you need to create all this stuff, like, it must have been such a headache.
100%.
Like, try to plan this all out, especially doing it like year after year after years, that you don't, like, you don't have the time if you're wanting to release these once a year.
100%.
Nowadays, I think it would probably be every 3 year maybe, but it would be so CGI heavy.
Totally.
It would, like,
well, look at the Hobbit movies. Do you know what I mean? The Hobbit movies.
Less said about them because they are not.
They're not good.
Yeah, they don't. The technology they use in it's cool. Like, when you see the behind the scenes, and it's like he's filming with a camera and basically it's all green screen and it's built the town, but it's not. It doesn't have the same feeling.
It looks awful. Yeah. It looks so bad. I've not seen the Hobbit movies for years, but you watched them a couple of years ago. I remember coming in and being like, that looks awful, man.
Yeah,
like,
it's too reliant on it.
Aye, 100%. So, as well, back to Lord of the Rings. We're first tangent of 2025, guys, right? So when we go back and Gandalf's with Bilbo and they're outside and they're having their wee pipe and Bilbo blows a smoke ring and then Gandalf blows the ship. You can do that.
Oh, aye,
Ross?
I'm famous for it.
Oh, aye. Me and Ross had just started going out. First time we ever did the marathon, and Ross goes, I can do that. And I was like, go. And he just went, and just everywhere. Horrendous, terrible. But, like, that's my favourite thing. He'd be like, yeah, Ross can do that.
Yeah, I mean, I showed you I could.
Exactly.
And anything else is a lie.
So while all this is going on in Hobbiton, you've got Gollum in Isengard.
Yes,
Mordor?
I'm sure it's Isengard, is it?
And he's getting tortured for information, and the two words that he says is Shire Baggins. Fucking benefits, can I ask Gollum?
Aye.
Shut up, man. I know you want the ring back, but Jesus Christ.
I mean, give him a fake name. See, that saves your torture. You can give them anything.
And every time he does it, I'm like, oh my God. But then it's like, well, if he doesn't do it, we're not going to have the movie. Like,
Yeah.
That's another thing, sorry. Like, every time we sit down and watch these movies, I have the same reactions as if this is like the
Yeah,
first or
yeah,
second
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Totally, like, every time he goes, Shia Baggins, I'm like, you fucking dick. Like,
I just fucking get a rest.
100%.
Yeah, so it's like Isengard, like the first movie's kind of almost like just like setting up on their journey.
Yeah.
Then it goes into like Isengard fucking shut up while trying to.
Yeah.
Then it's Mordor doing it. But the Isengard in this is like, it's fascinating as you see it decaying over the movies.
Totally.
So it's like when Gandalf goes to visit Saruman for the first time to tell him about Sauron, even though it should be pretty. I mean, look at his tower alone. That's pretty fucking evil looking already.
It's a big black tower in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Gandalf, my man, hurry
Is
up.
it, so he's saying he chose to have it built like that. Don't believe that, but hey ho. But it's all lush and green and like looks stunning. Then as you get later on, it's just dead. Like it's just all
Dry,
decay.
burnt. Yep.
Which I find it cool that they have a lot of continuations. Like you see it with Frodo and that.
Totally, like as the movies go on, his neck gets more and more
with the
burnt
chain.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. Totally. It's wee details like that. Do you know what I mean? That like this movie probably could have been fine if they didn't include them, but the fact that they have it included, just these wee small deteriorations of things, it's like, oh yes, chef's kiss. My favourite as well when Gandalf is like that to Frodo. Tells him about the ring, and he's like, you need to keep it secret, keep it safe.
Yeah.
And Frodo's like, I ain't bother, I'll hide it and I'll just no tell anybody. And Gandalf's like, actually, like, you're gonna need to go on a fucking jaunt, my guy.
I wonder, I'm not sure what the difference is from Bilbo having it to finally giving it to Frodo, but it's just unfortunate for Frodo. This is the time they now decide, right, we better find this thing.
Yeah, we
or
better.
Like, we've got new information. Is it? Imagine saying, like, I just leave that. Gandalf knew what he was doing.
100%.
Like, he knew exactly how this was going to play.
100%.
And we mentioned this when watching, is it? He's just a user.
Gandalf.
Aye. Like, he goes on a bit, a thing for the hobbits, does it? Oh, you just love using them.
Aye, 100%.
He does it with everybody in this
Yeah.
movie. And he's like, oh, well, men should do this, men should do that. And he's like, oh, you're just daring them at this stage, aye?
Should they, aye? Like, I suppose it's the same in The Hobbit. Like, he, like, goes to see Bilbo and then, like, carves the notch in the door so all the dwarves know where to go. It's like, fuck's sake, Gandalf.
Oh, he's just at it, aye.
100%. When they start their jaunt and it's Frodo, Sam, and then they bump into Merry and Pippin, and they're told, like, get off the road, and then they all fall down the hill, and it's like Frodo's, and it's that zoom in of like, fuck, get off the road. Like, those ring wraiths are still so fucking creepy.
Oh, yeah.
And that's another thing I love as well. Like, as the movies continue, is like the ring wraiths fucking level up every movie. Like, this one, there's only a couple of them, and they're still creepy bastards. Second, there's more, but they're on fucking dragons.
Yeah.
And by the third one, you've got like the Witch King, and you're like, I ain't bothered. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
it's like the introduction to like the enemies and like the main characters in this is just great. I mean, the only thing I would point out is that Peter Jackson loves a close up.
Oh, it's that like zoom in close up to people's faces.
They always just turn around and look look off in the distance. I was like, right, we get it.
Aye, kill man, kill.
There's danger over there. Sound. So once you have the ring wraiths and it's the noise, like that
so
scene,
creepy.
That scene where they're hiding under the log or like just the clearing or whatever it is.
Is that like screaming thing?
Yeah, but then it's when you see the horse in that first, that's just menacing as shit.
With the red eyes and the foaming mouth.
Yeah, then the ring wraith peering over, you're like, oh my god, like, Because we would have been what, 8, 9 maybe.
Go for it, yeah.
Between 9 to 12 when they all came out, and that was terrifying.
100%. That's the thing I remember from being a kid is like the amount of like jump scare, and it's not jump scares, right?
Yeah, but for
like,
an 8 or 9-year-old, that is.
do you know what I mean? Like, so you've got the ring race, the bit where Galadriel is like, "I will be beautiful and terrible," and that's fucking terrifying. The bit where Bilbo, when they're in Rivendell, sorry, we skipped a bit, guys. When they're in there, and he goes to see Frodo's ring, and he goes like, like that's terrifying. And then even as it goes on, like the second one, when they go through the marshes and all this kind of stuff, like, there's a lot of really like creepy bits in it, you know, like. And obviously, like you say, like when we were kids, that was really fucking scary. But it does hold up to just being creepy now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But obviously, we've seen it that much. We're not bothered.
You know what's happening in it now?
100%.
Like, if any of this shocks, my only issue is because we always do the extended ones. There's bits I'm like, is that in the original? Or like, I get confused if I'm watching the original. Like, no, that's Mighty Ham. Here's it. No, it's not.
I do that. Like, I can't remember who. I think it was Sean. We were watching them all, and I think we just watched the normal version, and I was like, "There's something missing here." Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, something to extend it on.
100%. I couldn't put my finger on it. Strider sitting.
Strider.
Strider sitting with that hood and the pipe and the prancing pony. Hardest motherfucker ever, like just sitting there like in shadows. You draw too much attention to yourself, Underhill.
You're saying he's the hardest one, but if he's not drawing attention, him with his hood up, and that's drawing the most attention.
Who's a shifty looking bastard.
But that's it. Like, don't draw attention. Whatever is it? Aye, that's Strider. Is it? Oh, what a job, my man.
Strider. So good, man. So good.
The Bree area is just. It's like, just say it again. Just set building and all that. It just looks great.
Yep.
And every part of this movie is just, it's all done well.
Yeah.
But it's that, then it's like even the whole commotion in the pub and all that. Then obviously you have the first bit where you see the use of the ring in this movie.
Yeah.
With Frodo's like the slow motion and that, and it's just so cool.
Yeah, totally.
Like, I've got it here that I counted up, like just as we're watching them, like through all of them was like memorable like moments or scenes. And for the extended one, there's I count 38.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, for 11 hours, that's good going.
That's it. We were saying that whether we should include Let's Go in this, and it's like there's a Let's Go moment every 10 minutes in this film. Like, and there's so many. Now, I don't know if it's quotable across the board, but it's quotable to us. Like, there's so many quotable lines in these as well, and it's just like, do you know what I mean?
It's great, yeah.
Coming up to another Let's Go moment is just see when they go into Rivendell. Like, this is the thing as well, right? It's just the build up to the sets is a Let's Go moment. Like, when they come up and they go into Rivendell. Oh, see, even that, like, our gal Arwen, that if you want him, come and claim him.
Yeah.
Yes, bitch, yes. And then when they're coming up to Rivendell, I know it sounds like I'm saying Rivendell. I'm saying Rivendell. It's just the Glasgow accent, guys, okay? I realised when I was saying that, I was like, this sounds like I've got the fucking name wrong. Like, no, I just can't pronounce for shit. But, like, Rivendell looks fucking beautiful. And I know the elves are shite bags and whatever you want to say, right? But like, they look great. I bet Rivendell smells fucking beautiful. Do you know what I mean? Everything is like clean and like beautiful. If I was to go anywhere, it would either be the Shire or Rivendell. Like, that's yes.
I think it would smell like quite dewy, like the trees and all that.
Yeah, but like nature dewy, like pine. Like when you go on a nice nature walk and you smell the fresh air.
I think you'll be one of the places that smell, but because they're all used to it. Like, see, when they first get there, they're like, what the fuck's that smell? And Elrond's like, what are you on about?
Get fucked. It smells like a cotton plug-in, right? They've got the Febreze plug-ins everywhere.
It is a cool, like, contrast between them. It's like, you get to Rivendell and that, and it's all beautiful.
After being in, like, dark, raining, muddy Bree.
But even that is, like, but intersecting between those is the Isengard scenes.
Yep.
Where he's like, they start creating the Uruk-hais.
The music for the Uruk-hai is so good, and like when see that shot of it going down the hole, and it's like you see all the orcs like ripping the shit. Oh, fucking wow!
Like,
do you know what I mean?
They're made for like they just it's pretty much come out the mud. It seems like
100%.
They're dirty and all that. Then it just contrasts that, and is it? oh, yous are in for a hard time.
Yeah.
I think the men in that have had it too easy up until now, the men in Elves.
100%.
They've had like thousands of years of just cutting about, talking shite.
Saruman's like, right, big man, let's go.
Aye, already.
The Uruk-hai as well, like, they hold up, like, they look great. And, like, they were creepy as fuck when we were kids as well.
Aye.
But, like, oh, so good. The scene where they're all in the circle as well, discussing the fellowship, or it's not a fellowship yet, but they're discussing like
the creation of it.
who's getting rid of the ring and all this. And when Big Scene Bean goes, one does not simply walk into Mordor. It's like, you didn't know then that this is years of meme.
It's the most meme-worthy part of it, yeah.
100%. Everybody says that all the time. Like, or even you and me will be like, oh, and you go, one does not simply go to Lidl. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just pure shite part.
Yeah, it's probably the most important part. Like, of all the movies.
100%.
Because this one it's nice. Like, this is a nice movie. Like, it's just a wee journey movie.
Yep. Everything's chillish.
Yeah, up until the last... I didn't time it, but like the last hour.
Yeah.
Like, up until they leave Rivendell.
And
then
start scrapping the Uruk-hai.
But up until then, it's all just nice and chill.
Yeah.
Everybody's friendly and all that.
Yeah. 100%.
The one bit I wonder is, see if... Because obviously I said before they had to cut characters and that, what they'd have done if like Tom Bombadil was in this.
Tell the people who don't know who Tom Bombadil is.
Like, just this like forest folk. I don't think J.R. Tolkien actually really tells you what he is.
Oh, right, okay.
Like, he's just kind of this dude that wanders about the forest and just cuts about.
Just helps people.
Aye, because in the books is that like they're getting attacked by, is it Baron Whites or something they're called? I think it's like whatever it is, I'm not 100%, but then he comes and saves them and they spend the night there and he's hanging the one ring and that Frodo gives him it and he just puts it on his finger that nothing happens because he's just not asked.
Yeah, he's just so chill.
Yeah, and he's like, this has no hold over me, like Sauron will not have a hold over me.
Well, you were saying that though in the book, like obviously these 3 movies are about like saving Middle-earth and all this kind of thing. But there's like so many other creatures in Middle-earth that don't even fucking know this is going on and all that. Like they're not arsed.
And even if they do, they're just not interested.
Yeah, like fuck it.
I think a lot of them know that it's not their fight. Because Frodo says to him, if you're not affected by this, why don't you keep it? And he went, I'll lose it.
I'll lose it.
This could destroy the whole world. And you're like, I'll leave it and forget where it is.
Aye.
As long as he gets to cut about with his wee forest animals and that, he's quite happy.
Love that. I always get Tom Bombadil mixed up with, is it Radagast?
Yeah, the brown wizard.
I always get them confused. But that's just because I'm an ignorant bitch. I'm not as knowledgeable as you are.
Yeah, I do wonder how they could have incorporated. I mean, it probably wouldn't work with the, like, when obviously it would be like too long a movie at that stage. But I've always wondered how they would do it because he is quite a big part of the first, like the start of the book anyway. Yeah,
is he not in Rings of Power? I've not watched the new season of Rings of Power.
I think he's in season 2, but I've not started it. I don't really plan to either, so
I tapped out halfway through the first season. You finished the first season, I tapped out.
Like, there's some parts of it in Rings of Power that explains a bit about some of the characters like Aragorn and that, but it's not really not for me. Nah.
Yeah. So obviously, like, Fellowship gets together, you'll have my bow and my axe, and like this is them starting out, and Saruman fucks up their plan and they have to go through the mines of Moria. And the mines of Moria was the bit in this that always freaked me out the most when I was a kid. Like just how black everything is and all the skeletons everywhere, and I'm not scared of bugs, but I've never been a fan of anything in movies that like climbs on the ceiling and shit. Do you know what I mean? So like when the goblins are like fucking ants just like going around the columns and around the Ben was never a fan. I'm still not a fan.
No, the orcs and goblins in this are like really scary.
Yeah, man.
Like, I can accept the Uruk-hai because they're
meant to be.
Yeah, their job is they're just going in to steamroll everything.
Yep. Just
like pure power and brawn. Whereas orcs and goblins, they're sneaky.
Yeah.
Like, they're sneaky things.
Yeah, fuck that. It's like, from the first part of the fight in Mines of Moria where they have a cave troll. It's like fucking Pippin's wrecked it again for everybody. And then obviously they need to run away, and then you have the iconic "You shall not pass."
Yeah, the bridge.
Fight with the Balrog and that.
Even before the Moria, like the octopus.
Oh yeah,
It's like
yeah,
that's
yeah,
such
yeah.
like it's such. It feels like such a random thing. Just
Totally.
of course there's an octopus in that
Yeah,
water,
why the
like
fuck
a
not?
massive man-eating one.
Yeah.
Like why wouldn't there be?
That's I. It's like trying. I know we've got a fucking cheek. Like it's trying to figure out like what to talk about for each thing, but there is like so fucking much you can talk about. Do you know what I mean?
Like there's so many scenes in this, and I mean you could deep dive into everything, but as I say, like there's not enough recorded time in the world.
100%. Obviously, when Gandalf falls and is like, "Fly, you fools," that was like the first time you watch it is like devastation for the nation. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
still,
Especially not if you don't know.
100%. Because I remember being like, oh, no way, do you know what I mean? And then when he comes back in the second one, you're like, holy fuck, like, do you know, it's mad, absolute madness.
Yeah, there was a thing with Fly You Fools that I was reading that there was an argument between whether they were saying that no, you should use the eagles like they did in The Hobbit, or he's just telling them to like get out here. There's still orcs shooting at you, which is hilarious because the scene with Aragorn when he is like they are like fleeing it. Just there's these orcs just firing it, and everyone misses it. It's the old Star Wars, the old Star Wars training they must have got. Because I was thinking about it, is it how like with the Urukai and all that because they know how to fight. Where did they get the training? Like there doesn't look like a regimented. Is it like they just like it just seems like they're born or grown, however it is they're made. Then they know how to fight. Is it? I wonder how that works because could he not just keep churning them out?
Well, he does. Like, what is it? The orcs used to be elves or something like that, so they kind of know. Well, I don't know if every elf is like trained in arrows and shit.
I imagine if I don't know. Actually, I would need to look that up.
Phone Big Token up. Be like, right, big man.
Everyone talk to the dead. I'm like, big man, I've got a few questions.
Get that fucking Ouija board out pronto. Or if any of you guys know, let us know.
Yeah.
After Gandalf falls, devastation, everybody's greeting, and we end up meeting Galadriel in the Woodland Realm. And the Woodland Realm is honestly, just everything the elves do, beautiful, stunning. But in the extended edition, the Galadriel bit goes on a wee bit too long.
Oh yeah, like, definitely.
I think in the normal version, it's enough, you know, like you meet her, she does her creepy, like, well, I'm big, powerful and terrible. And then obviously they all get their gifts and all that, but in the extended one, it goes on for fucking ages.
There's so much stuff going on in it,
and it's just like, guys, come on now. Like,
I think that's where most of the extended edition for Fellowship goes into is her scene.
Yes, I totally agree.
Considering you don't see her until the third one after that. Like I get Galadriel's like this big thing in it, but and for the movie they made, she's not in it much.
She gets most of the voiceovers, and like I think they use Galadriel more as like exposition. Do you know what I mean? Like see, even by the third one, and when Frodo's in Shelob's cave, and it's like, Frodo, I give you the light of the. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's mostly her voice is like, oh, let me give you this bit here, you know?
Yeah.
So then obviously Galadriel, they all leave Galadriel with their, funnily enough, super useful presents and trinkets to like help them in the fight.
Yeah, convenient.
And then this is when they're in the forest. Big Seam Bean tries to take the ring, and then they all start scrapping with the Urukai. What a class end of the film, do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, like, definitely.
Even, like, the fight between Aragorn and the big Urukai, and, like, there's, like, the back bit behind that where, like, Viggo Mortensen threw the knife wrong, and that when he hits the knife out of the way, that's...
he has to parry it,
Yeah, that's actually him doing it, because Viggo fucked it up, and they kept it, and... And even like when Sean Bean dies, right? Now, Big Seam Bean's been a prick the whole fucking movie, but he gets his redemption, you know, he sacrifices himself for the halflings, do you know what I mean?
I think I had this thought for a while, is that see the men in this, like the kings and the stewards, and I don't think they're good.
No.
Like
fuck Gondor.
Like I don't think even the King of Rohan is a good king.
Theoden.
Yeah, but it's just, and I mean, he shows himself he's successful in that, but up until then, it's like you haven't really had anything to.
Yeah.
Like in the movies, anyway, nothing to do. But as soon as you do it, like the amount of wrong decisions these people make, like
100%.
I'm saying, like even when was at Rivendell when it was boring me, I was like, we could take the ring to Gondor. I was like, what are you going to do with it?
100%.
Like from what it looks like is the Black Gate Mordor is close to Minas Tirith, which is the capital of Gondor, I assume.
Yep.
That-
Why
why would you take it closer?
Yeah.
Like, get that thing as far away.
Yeah, either take it closer in the sense of we're going to go and fucking ruin it,
Aye.
or get it to the other fucking
Yeah,
side of
'cause
Middle Earth.
as soon as they know it's there, is it?
Aye,
They're
you're
going to fling everything at you.
100%. You've just signed Gondor's fucking death
Yeah.
sentence, you prick. No, 100%.
Aye, so sorry. Back to Am and Hen, then, right?
Is that what it's called,
Yeah.
Ramen?
I'll have a fancy name, but I've always called it Am and Hen.
Him. This is what I love about you, Ross, right? Is never mind that you're a big fucking geek, right? It's like, see when there comes to bits and I'm like, is this fight in a field? And you're like, actually, I think you'll find it's the Battle of da-da-da. And I'm like, all right, no bother, Ross. Sorry, carry on. What did you say this one was called again?
Am and Hen.
Him.
Aye, so that's the first, like, Urukai battle.
Yep.
And,
So fucking class.
yeah, it kind of sets you up for seeing what's going to happen in the two towers.
Yep.
But big lots of leader of them. What a fucking legend.
Mate, 8 foot tall,
Aye.
built like a brick shit house.
Just-
fucking terrifying.
Like, I was thinking about how fun it must have been. Like, because there's no CGI, it's all actors. I think they got, is it the New Zealand Army in
Yep.
for some of it? And I'm
Yeah.
like, that must have been, like, imagine you got your barracks that day and it's like, by the way, guys, we're,
Need to go to Middle Earth,
we're going to
mate.
film a movie. I'm like, fuck yes,
100%.
I'm getting paid to do this.
100%. I've actually got some of that and useless information.
It must have just been, it must have been stressful as hell to make, but just see if you're an
Worth
actor.
it.
Not even if you're one of the actors, see if you're just a wee extra in that, or you'd have been buzzing.
100%.
Imagine being a wee extra hobbit, and you'd be fucking loving it.
100%. So basically, Fellowship ends with Boromir dead, Merry and Pippin have been robbed by the orcs/Urukai, Frodo and Sam, they've boosted, they're going to do it themselves. Aragorn, Legolas and Gimli are going to help from the sidelines / go and get Merry and Pippin back.
Yeah, get them back.
And then we enter the Two Towers, my man. Lord of the Rings, Two Towers. And we find out Gandalf's alive!
Yep.
But total fucking bam up. Like, when they meet him in the wood and they're like, oh, it's like Christopher Lee's voice and you're like, fuck, Saruman's here. Do you know what I mean? And then it comes out as him and it's like, it's Gandalf the White now. You're like, I need bother, big man. Absolutely need bother.
Yeah, he gets everyone going for him, Gandalf.
Prick.
And as it gets that, he gets Shadowfax, who's like the Lord of Horses. Is it? Of course you do, mate.
I need bother, Gandalf.
This one for me is like, it's an introduction of Gollum. Like, he's in the first one, but this is where you see Gollum, and it's just how Andy Serkis, like, just give him everything.
100%.
Give him all the awards.
100%.
Like, it's actually a tragedy that they don't have this in the Oscars.
Totally. Because, like, I mean, yeah, like you say, like, Gollum proper enters the picture, but, like, Andy Serkis is just cooking, man.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely cooking. And you know he was having a fucking blast as well, do you know what I mean?
Oh,
like, knocks it out of the park. And I think that's as much as, do you know that way Gollum, I suppose villain's not really the right word, but I don't know if anti-hero's the right word either. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he's, I don't know, morally grey, shall we say. Like, the only thing Gollum gives a fuck about is the ring. But, like,
Oh, he's been that corrupted by it. Like, that's all he cares for.
100%. He's just so good in it, and he's such a for all, like I say, for all he's the bad guy kinda, right? Like, there's a reason he's so fucking beloved. Do you know what I mean? Like, everybody loves Gollum. Like, it's the voice, it's the wee things he says when he's getting wide with Sam about the potatoes and all that.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
aye.
everybody loves Gollum, man. Gollum's class. Like, the only person I know who doesn't like Gollum is my mum, because the voice freaked her out that much. And then I think it was Lee bought me like a Gollum, and you press the button and he would say all the quotes for Christmas, and my mum was like, get at me.
It's like the part for me where I'm just like, Andy Serkis is like a legend.
100%.
It's when he's at, I think it's a pond he's at, and he's having a conversation with Smeagol and Gollum, but it's just himself, and I was like, that's just like phenomenal.
Wire in, big
Like,
man.
yeah, Andy Serkis is so, I wouldn't say he's underrated, but I don't think he gets the credit he deserves for a lot of things he's done.
Totally agree. I think that's the thing though, is like, this technology was made for him.
Yeah, to make, like, that had to be done for this movie.
And, like, obviously he's taken that technology. He's obviously been one. He's like helped to pioneer it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was like the guy for ages you phoned if you needed this, and then We
Oh, aye.
wouldn't have the new Planet of the Apes if it wasn't for it and stuff. And there's so many things now that it's like, oh, and he's like really chuffed with himself. Do you know what I mean? He's like, yep,
Oh,
I
he
helped
should
to
be.
get this done.
He deserves every applause he gets.
Totally. And like he pops up in things every now and then, like now he's directing all those Venom movies and
Yeah.
that. But he always reads Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, he's recorded the audiobooks and that.
Yep, and he does it on YouTube as well. Was it during COVID? Mind he did the read along.
Yeah, I think it was the Hobbit he read where he
That
done
was
all the
it.
voices.
That was it. Another villain in this movie that is absolutely knocking it out the park is your man Brad Dourif.
Fuck, I didn't even add to my cast list.
Big Brad Dourif being the sneaky, skulky wee
Yeah,
rat.
like Grandma Wormtongue.
What a prick. But like so good. Like as soon as he comes out and he's all like, he's like Snape from Harry Potter on a bad day, you know?
Yeah.
Like he comes out and he's all like skulking and he's like, these are no friends of yours, and it's oh you prick.
Yeah.
And then when big Carl Urban, whose character name I cannot
Aylmer.
remember. What?
Aylmer.
It's like, oh, too long have you watched our footsteps, too long have you noticed our steps.
Yeah.
You're like, fucking tell him,
Because that's all he's interested in is getting Eowyn.
Big Eowyn.
Like he lost after her, he's got some obsession about her.
Reaper.
But it's cool seeing, like, you see Rohan that and it looks class that, then you go in as like everything's broken.
Everything's rotten, everything's decayed, everything's grey.
Yeah.
Theoden's on the fucking throne looking all fucked. Like, yeah.
He's just had his mind poisoned by Big Starman.
Totally. Just big up the riders of Rohan, but like they look so class. And is it not a thing as well? Like, not only are they really tall, but their horses are really, really big as well.
Yeah.
So like when Aragorn and Legolas and Gimli are running across and it's like, riders of Rohan, and they all fucking circle them and you're like, alright, they bother, big man. But like they look so cool. And even the fact that like they were all banished because of like Grim, what's his chops? They all got banished and they're still like, no, we're still going to defend Rohan from the side. Like, amazing. Would never be me.
You would think if you were Aylmer that you seen, was it his uncle?
Yep.
His uncle like that, and is it
Big Uncle Theoden?
Yeah, there's something all right here. Like, we need to shift this guy on.
100%.
There's a few bits of that in this where is it, like, you just need to accept that this is happening.
Yeah. I feel like that with Theoden. Like, I know obviously anytime Bernard Hill shows up and stuff, you're like, yeah, it's King of Rohan. But like, no, I'm like, there's bits where he's talking to Aragorn and it's like, go and just listen to the man. The man knows what the fuck he's talking about, Theoden. Sit down, do you know what I mean?
It's like, he makes some of the most stupid decisions in this movie.
Honestly.
And I've got here as well that he's just a bummer.
He's
even
such a tough
what
hang.
success they have, he's like, oh.
And
there's a calm down, mate.
Everything is like, you're totally right. Anything that goes on, everyone will be like, yes. And he's like, well, you know, like, shut up, man.
I don't understand. Just enjoy it for a moment.
Give yourself peace. Moving on to one of the other storylines is obviously Merry and Pippin with the orcs, and then they go and meet the Ents. The whole interaction with the orcs about maggoty bread, most quotable part of the film.
Again, maggoty, was it free stinking dice?
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
Yeah, that's probably my first like memorable scene in this.
100%.
Like you have, cause it kind of starts with them just running about.
Yeah.
Like then it shows you the Aragorn, like in that he can kind of read the trails and that what's happened.
Yes.
Then because you get into the riders of Rohan,
or like we burned every orc
like
there and stuff.
Like killing the Uruk-hai party. Then it's them as soon as you get into the forest, then you just see the Ents. Like, oh, that's just cool because I remember the trailer. And also, I hadn't read the books and that
because we were children.
Yeah. And I was like, God, they look like bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were baddies helping Saruman. I was like, nah, surely no. How the fuck they going to beat trees? I was like, and it's good. I had my mind blown. I was like, holy shit, trees are good people.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild.
See, as well from that one bit, there was no point in putting in useless information because everyone fucking knows. Is when Aragorn kicks the helmet. And like breaks the scream is because he broke his toes.
Does he? Aye.
But this is the shut the fuck up.
This
is the thing. This is my point. This is the thing. Is as soon as I hear Aragorn scream, it's a fucking race between the two of us. I'm like, did you know? Like, even though everyone fucking knows, but like that must be like a universal fucking experience. Like as soon as you're like the second we get to show Lord of the Rings to our nieces and nephews, you best fucking believe I'm going to be turning around like,
believe
did
it,
you know?
Oh fuck I. They'll be getting hit with the same pish we'll be saying for years.
100%. As well, when you skip to the other bit of like Frodo and Sam on their journey, you really, really see the deterioration of Frodo in this one. Like again, obviously, like we said earlier on, you see it throughout all of them, but in this one, he's pastier, he's got the big black under circles. The marks are starting to happen. Do you know what I mean? But nothing excuses the treatment of my Sam. Like, fucking show Sam some respect.
He gets the piss taken out in big time.
Sam gets done so dirty. So
and
dirty.
I get part of it's the ring doing it that he's making him mistrust everyone now, but like, come on, guys. Like, Sam's been nothing but loyal to you.
And Sam's been your pal for fucking ages, but you're going to dingy him for Gollum, who you met 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Piss off. Not justice for Sam.
Yeah, is it I'll be your guide? Is it?
Well, yeah.
I wouldn't trust that wee dude.
Absolutely. Yeah, even if you didn't know Gollum, just looking at Gollum, you're like, you little shifty wee bastard.
Yeah,
and the fact that you're only talking to yourself and the ring, piss
off.
But
the thing is, he knows about Gollum because Gandalf explains to him in the first one. Remember, is it there's something following us in the mine?
Yeah.
And they went, that's Gollum. Is it? Watch him, he's a fucking madman.
Totally. Fucking totally. See, as well, I probably should have said this earlier on when we were talking about Theoden, but it totally skipped me. I've just remembered it there. See, when Gandalf comes in with his staff, like, with all of them, and, like, basically just batters fucking
just hits him in the head,
and, like, exorcises him, basically, of the demon of Sauron. See, like, that whole bit from when he's, like, when he's doing that old creepy laugh, and then the de-aging, like the hair shrinking and the eyes coming back to normal, still looks great. So cool. Like, every time I watch it, I look at a different part of his face to see, like, what have they moved here?
Yeah, like, this movie is like Saruman's turn to try and destroy, like, Middle-earth, Rohan and all that.
Yep.
And
he's kind of trying to, like, not fuck over Sauron. Like, he's doing it for Sauron, but he's trying to, like, cut his extra piece of the pie as well in this one.
I think, is it in this one or the next one they talk about it, is that if he takes Rohan, and when it comes to Sauron, Mordor going to Minas Tirith, they kind of meet.
Yeah.
So it's just double them, so Rohan can't come in that way and, like, basically help them, which happens in the third one.
Yep, totally.
But it is cool to see. Like, obviously, he's got the big Urukai and all that, but then it's just, as soon as the third one is like, here's like 50,000 just orcs just going mental.
100%.
Like, one of them's very, like, strong, powerful, and Sauron's like, I fucking send everything.
Aye.
Everything in the kitchen sink.
100%. I think the Two Towers is like, now, tell me if I'm wrong, but Two Towers feels like the fastest out of all three of them. See, because it's fucking breakneck pace. It's like, fight, then drama, then fight, then drama, then, like, building up, and then obviously the fucking jewel of the movie is Helm's Deep, but we'll get to that in a minute. Like, I think the second one does feel super, like, breakneck. Do you know what I mean?
I think it helps that the fact that it doesn't have to set it up like Fellowship.
No, it can just carry on.
And it doesn't need to have the big dramatic ending as in Return of the King, because I think we timed it. The ending of Return of the King for when it starts is about an hour long.
Yep.
And as we've said, you could cut out three or four of them easy.
100%.
But this one has the luxury of being like, right, they're going like, Sam and Frodo need to get from point A to point B and deal with all the shit in between, whereas, like, Legolas, that it's just the exact same, so it's just hitting off all the bits.
Totally. Back to the story.
Back to the story for it. So, Theoden gets, like, recovers from his
possession,
corruption, brainwashing, whatever it is. Then he has to move. Like, Gandalf advises him to move to Helm's Deep, I believe it is.
Yeah, because everybody's basically scattered all over the shop, so it's like, no, get everybody and go there.
And he doesn't have a defence, and the wildlings come in, and that gets mentioned to him for the wee kids and that come.
Yeah. Where's Mummy?
Yeah,
Shut
so
up.
then you have the Wog fight.
Yep.
And then Aragorn gets, like, this is the first kind of main character that's like, oh shit, there, like, he could be dead.
Oh yeah, when Aragorn gets chucked off the side,
because
that's when they're on their way to Helm's Deep, isn't it? That's when that happens.
Yeah, because he sends the Because there's a scene again in Isengard that just looks class.
Yeah.
When it's the Wogs and they're like trying a scout party and you just see them all running out.
100%. I also think the warg fight is like the start of the Gimli and Legolas banter during the fights, which is always just a fucking joy to see. Like when they just sit and make wee quips and try and count how many people they've killed and all that. It's just so funny.
Because I can't remember if it's in the theatrical version, but the extended version certainly is when the Wogs kept falling on Gimli.
Yes.
Like it's when because watching this now, like Gimli is more of a comic relief character.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have a moment where he's like, holy shit, he's bad. He has a few minor ones, but all he is it's just him falling every time.
100%.
Look at this dwarf falling his arse.
Love it.
It's good.
As well, like when they're going to Helm's Deep and obviously Eowyn, this pisses me off so much, right? When Eowyn is trying to fire in about Aragorn and it's like, excuse me, we've just built up that Aragorn is in love with Arwen, shut the fuck up. But like that whole love triangle really annoys me, right? Because I probably should have said it in Fellowship, but they set Arwen up in Fellowship to be this cool badass fucking elf princess or whatever the fuck she is, and it's like, if you want him, come and claim him, and she looks really fucking cool. She tells Aragorn to get shit together, blah blah blah, and then by this one it's like, oh, I'm dead sad. Oh, I just want to go with my wee elfie pals. Oh, no, pish, you're better than that, Arwen. Fucking get a grip. Big Eowyn's trying to steal your man.
Yeah, I wonder why they included it.
Oh, they do my gal so dirty.
There's kind of no need for it. Because even in the books, it's not Arwen that saves Frodo and Fellowship and that. So, I mean, if Liv Tyler's wanting to do it, I mean, why you would do it?
100%.
But adding a love story's kind of not.
You don't need it.
Nah,
you really
pointless.
Like if there was a bit to cut, it would be that. But also, I'm not mad about it. I just wish I wish they'd kept Arwen the cool badass bitch that she was in the first one. You know,
should have made more sense.
Yeah, I agree. As well, while all this is going on, when they're going to Helm's Deep, Frodo and Sam are still on their way with Gollum, and you've got Merry and Pippin are now with the Ents, and the Ents are like, nah, we're not going to go help. And then our wee Pippin's like, no, go south. What is it? The closer we are to danger, the further we are from harm. It's all right, Billy Boy, calm down. And obviously the Ents go down, and he sees that Saruman is cut down half the Ents, and he's fucking raging about it. See the Ent fight where they like break down the dam and all this, and then you've got like the wee Ent with his head on fire, throwing it in the water and stuff. So fucking good. Like the Ent fight, class.
Yeah, they kind of trick the Ents into doing it, don't they? Is it, now go that way. Is it, what do you mean? Is it like closer? Like, I'll be fine.
100%.
But even we missed a bit with Sam and Frodo is when they're at the Black Gate, and this pisses me off
when he
every
puts the
time.
cape, when Frodo, so no, Sam gets his foot stuck.
He's trapped in the rocks.
Yep, and Frodo tries to get him out. Can't get him out in time, so throws his cloak over them, and the cloak is just strategically placed like a rock.
It really irritates me. That's probably my most annoying scene in all of them.
See the Black Gate and just that whole bit always reminds me of the bit in Wizard of Oz. When
I get you.
So, diving into Helm's Deep, the fucking jewel of the movie. Like, oh my god, like, see if I could just bottle up just Helm's Deep and just drink it every day, I'd be so happy. Do you know what I mean? Helm's Deep is so fucking class, and it's basically the second half of the movie. It's definitely the last hour and a half. Do you know what I mean? And it's so fucking good, and every build up of Helm's Deep just gets better. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're all standing there, then the elves come smashing, then it starts raining, big Theoden's like, and so it begins, and then they accidentally shoot the orc, then the orcs get raging, and then the orcs come in, and fucking, then you think, toss me, don't tell the elf, and all this, right? And then fucking Gandalf swims. Yes, just everything about Helm's Deep is so fucking class.
Even before that, but it's the build up, like Aragorn, like spoiler, he survives the Wog attack.
Oh yeah, fuck, I forgot.
And it kind of shows you, and that's another thing. See the scene where he's like half dead on the horse, and it's his son, and that is such a terrible shot.
Yeah.
Like every time I'm like, oh, you should have took that again.
100%.
Like the sun's just like glaring over everything, but then it's when he's looking over and he sees like the 10,000 Urukai that's coming to Helm's Deep, and I was like first time I seen that I was like, holy shit, how are they going to get this? Like,
yeah.
They're in deep trouble.
100%. And yeah, like you say, like it's even the build up, you're like, fuck, because obviously they've not really got any soldiers. It's like old guys and young kids, and Legolas is like, they're all gonna die, and Aragorn's like, well, I will die as one of them.
Yeah.
So then obviously when the elves show up, you're like, fucking yes, let's go.
Yeah, might get saved.
Totally. And there's so many moments in Helm's Deep where you really think it's going to go to shit.
Oh, aye.
And Theoden is of no fucking help whatsoever. He stands at the top and he's like, like, do you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't, like, he's just standing there with his three guys as everyone else is getting fucked up. They breach, like, they blow up half the wall, and he's like, fuck, right, cool. Looks down, they're coming in through the door, he's like, right, cool. And it's only when, like, Aragorn's the one that fucking rallies
he's the one that
troops.
makes a plan.
He's like, fucking move, do you know what I mean? And then obviously him and Gimli go out and fight them at the bridge and stuff, and then even they're in, and it's that, like, ride out with me, and it's like, yes! Big Aragorn and the Riders of Rohirrim coming in.
See, that's the thing with this fight, though, which they don't have to win it, they just need to hold out. And what it says, the sunrise on the fifth day, so they need to hold out for 5 days.
And
Fuck
that, I'm tired, do you know what I mean?
The way they make sure as if just Desna's it, all you need to do is hang in, and Gandalf's going to kill, because what is it, I think it's like 6,000 horsemen, or what thousands of horsemen?
Yep, that go down the steepest fucking hill, man.
That isn't a...
No, that's worse than Gardner Street, mate.
Yeah, like... Their horses are breaking up, like, their legs easy.
100%.
Like, no horses getting down there.
Nah, are they fuck? It's when all the Urukai come in, and it's like intimidating to watch, just to watch it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck being an extra who's just standing there like, yeah, cool, great. Like, so, honestly, Helm's Deep is so fucking class.
There's one thing I've got to say though.
Aye.
Is how they can do this battle in 2002 and the darkness, yet Game of Thrones can't do theirs. And when was that? 2020 something?
Yeah, and there was and it was pitch black. You couldn't see anything. Do you know what I mean?
How can you do that 20 years earlier?
Yeah,
this is like nowadays it's too much of a stretch.
Just don't talk to me about Game of Thrones. I really want to go back and watch Game of Thrones, but I'm like, is it worth it? Because the last season's so fucking bad.
Nah, it's not worth it.
The only person I know who liked the last season was my sister, and she was pure like, she was like to me, why don't you like not pish? Like, obviously, while Helm's Deep is going on, Sam and Frodo get caught up with the Gondor lot.
Yeah, it's the first meeting of the men of Gondor.
Yeah, so you meet Faramir and all that good stuff, and Faramir's going to keep them hostage, and then he finds out that they know Boromir and blah blah blah, and he's going to take them back with the ring, and then he gets a change of heart, you know.
Yeah.
And he's like, right, on yous go, and it basically Two Towers ends with Sam and Frodo getting away from Faramir, and Gollum being like, oh, I know a secret way, you little shit. Gollum's fully back in the evil saddle. There is no more Smeagol's in the background.
Yeah, he feels betrayed. Because Faramir and his rangers or his soldiers are going to say, like, they say to Frodo, go get him and keep him safe. Gollum thinks he's lied to him and all that. He's just betrayed. He's a hot wee boy. But what's cool about this is, obviously Faramir, like, he's the son of the Steward of Gondor, which is because they don't have a king. We should probably mention about Aragorn. He is like. I mean,
I feel like no one's listening to this that doesn't already know
you
what's
never know.
About. Right,
is that he should be he's the heir. Like,
he's Isildur's heir.
And he should be the king of Gondor. He's just never taken it up. Yeah.
So they have the Steward of Gondor, who is the worst person possible. Boromir is his son. So is Faramir. Boromir's Sean Bean.
Yeah, Faramir's the king. He's seen as a failure, although he's done more to try and protect Gondor than anybody else. I
really thought we'd be getting better at this podcast malarkey in 2025, but I think we're getting worse.
Yeah, we're never going to get better at this. But that's kind of, so they capture them, that let them go, and that's the beginning of the Minas Tirith battle.
Okay, so basically, yeah, what Ross said, and then you've got Pippin and Merry and Isengard after the Ents have sorted everything out, and Gandalf and the gang have all won Helm's Deep, and they're all about Isengard. Now we're on to Return of the King.
Yeah.
So Return of the King starts with Smeagol / Gollum's backstory, and that's like the first 20 minutes of the film.
Yeah.
Short, sweet, chef's fucking kiss, do you know what I mean? Shows you how Smeagol kills his pal for the ring and then goes into the mountains, and it's again him transforming from Hobbit to Gollum.
Yeah.
And there's like a bit where he blinks and his eyes are huge, and there's bits where he's like, when he starts eating the fish and his teeth are all fucked, and it's, I love shit like that. I love that. I love the backstory of where it shows. Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
And so as I said, this one is more going from the Gondor side of Return of the King.
I know we didn't really mention the Gondor storyline in the Two Towers.
They only pop up, it's only their main thing come the third movie anyway.
But honestly, fuck Gondor. Who cares,
man?
Yeah,
Gondor's shite.
The steward is a prick. He's so horrible. Like, justice for my guy Faramir, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Boromir's a wank. Like, Gondor just looks shit. Like, as in, Rohan's obviously fucked because Grima Wormtongue has managed to, like, possess Theoden, and Theoden's been too busy being gubbed to like do anything. Gondor's had a whole ass steward in its place, and it just looks keek. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone's fucked, everyone's miserable, none of the soldiers want to be there. Like, I know obviously there was only a wee bit of Gondor in the Two Towers, but oh man, see me get to this one, I'm like, fuck Gondor, they're all arseholes. Yeah,
they're just Denethor, who is the steward of Gondor, is just, I don't know if it's kind of the same situation with like Theoden, where he's got his hooks in him, or if he is just this useless.
Yeah, he makes Theoden look like a sunny guy. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
But as soon as you see him in this, it's just depressing.
Yeah,
like he's gave up.
100%. And just to get really gross, see where he's eating his dinner when Billy Boyd's singing, and he's like eating into the tomato, and it's stop that shite patter. Even though as well, right now obviously Gondor and Rohan are like, they're your dwellings of men,
it's
right?
your main two cities, yeah,
right? And they obviously fucking hate each other, because when Aragorn comes in and is like, we need to go help out Gondor, and Theoden's like, where was Gondor when the mist fell, and all this kind of shit, right? Theoden doesn't want, not Theoden, Denethor. Fucking get it. So, Denethor doesn't want to light the beacons to get help from Rohan. So like Gandalf goes and gets Pippin to set it all up and all that. Like, the beacons are lit, Gondor calls for aid, and Rohan will answer. That's the best bit. But like, he's so fucking raging about it, and it's like, guys, you really need to fucking go over yourselves. Middle Earth is at stake here.
Yeah, we're in
Get
trouble
a fucking grip. Also, see if you just turned the third one alone into a drinking game, make it whenever Gandalf looks at Pippin as if he wants to punch him in the fucking face. Do you know what I mean? Like, Pippin's been a pain in the arse since the Fellowship. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, aye.
But big up Billy Boyd, you know?
Yeah, so it starts really... The Hobbits really start annoying him in this, because you get the aftermath of Isengard.
Yep.
Like, with the Ents winning, like the Ents basically won their fight and they've drowned Isengard, so it's only Saruman and Grimmer on top of the tower.
Yeah.
And it's just, the extended bit's so funny, because you just see them and they're like, oh, we're starving, and it's like, fuck all this food here, this is great.
They
and
find their barrels of tobacco and that.
Was it Longleaf?
Longleaf, yeah.
And they'll just they come in and they'll sit and say, what are you doing drinking, eating and smoking?
And smoking.
And is it, I'll have you know, we won our fight. Like,
sit the fuck down.
As if they're all sitting there heavy mangled in it, and the Hobbits are just loving it. The interaction with Christopher Lee and like the Legolas Aragorn and that down the bomb, like that's just such a cool scene.
Like when Legolas takes him out.
Yeah. And it's basically so they can get was it Palantir, I think it's called? Basically the Seeing Stone.
The crystal ball thing, yeah.
And that kind of kickstarts the whole, like, shit, we need to get to Gondor, we need to get to Minas Tirith, because Pippin, it's Pippin it, like, he stupidly deals it for Gandalf, and this is about as funny, he swaps it out for a jug.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as he grabs the Palantir, he look into it, then he sees all this shit like Minas Tirith and that burning to the ground, then Gandalf's like, he thinks you've got the ring, you fucking idiot. But what I don't understand from it is, if you've seen Minas Tirith and that burning, why would you take the guy who thinks has the ring? Why would you take him there?
Yeah, exactly. Fuck's sake, Gandalf.
That seems a bit cruel.
I mean, Gandalf basically walks in and takes over Gondor immediately. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
aye.
see when the orcs are coming in and Big Denethor's like, run for your lives. Gandalf's like, get to your post.
He loves hitting stewards and kings and that with that staff.
100%.
A fucking cracker.
Honestly, Denethor is a prick, and the less I say about him, the better. Like, I fucking can't stand Gondor. I do also feel like, so obviously you don't have to watch all three Lord of the Rings back to back, but we do, right?
Yeah.
We take a whole day out specifically to do it, right?
Yeah.
And I do feel like it does suffer because by Return of the King, you're getting Crabbit, you're getting antsy, you're
a
like
little
fucking
jaded with it, yeah.
you're like fucking move. Like, I think if you're that's not to say that Return of the King's not great. Like, the movie's excellent, but I do feel like you're just like, why are you annoying me, mate? I've sat here for fucking 9 hours already. Move.
Yeah, let's speed it up a wee bit here.
And I do feel like as well, probably from the second half of Two Towers and the whole way through this one, you need a counter for how many times I go, fuck's sake, Frodo. Do you know what I mean?
Fuck.
Like, Frodo is such a tough fucking hang in this movie. Now, I understand, babe. I understand. He's got the burden of the ring.
Yeah.
He alone can carry this ring to Mordor. It must be a bastard. He's done well over his 10,000 steps. The boy's tired, right?
Yeah.
But my God, like, it's when he's like stumbling, and then he'll look over and he'll be like, oh, wait, shut up, my man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's funny because he goes on about how hurting that he is. Then is it, yeah, but nobody else is getting the ring, is it? It's obviously you're being taken over with this thing.
100%.
Like, I've always wondered, do you think if you, like, instead of wearing it, you'd, like, put it in your bag or something, it would have the same effect?
Like, Harry Potter stole this, like, in the 7th one when they were going for the Horcruxes, and they all need to wear that fucking locket, and they take turns so that they aren't dickheads all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas Frodo's pure like, no, it's mine, fuck off, Sam, fuck off, Gollum, and all that, like, fuck off, Frodo.
I've always wondered, put it in an envelope, put it in your bag, and be like, I won't have, like, I would never have touched you, so how can it have an effect on you?
Okay, fucking Frodo's a prick. Again, though, I'm not saying that. I understand the graft that the guy is going through, but genuinely, most of the third one, I'm just sitting there like, fuck's sake, Frodo, like, grab your fish. Like, yeah.
So the first proper cool bit is it's a Sam and Frodo scene when they're climbing up to get to, I can't remember the name of it, but it's Shelob's lair. The only thing I know it is.
The staircase has a name, but I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, but it's when the army's coming out of the place. I can't remember that name either. It's totally blanked me. But it's the big light shooting up, and you just start seeing it, and they two are just shitting themselves. Like, we better move.
Yeah, 100%. One
thing I noticed this time, and I don't know why I've never noticed it before, I see when they start coming out, then all the smoke's covering the sun.
Yes.
And I was like, it's so obvious because orcs and that are apparently, they're not allergic to sunlight, but I think it can burn them or something.
Wiring.
Like, I'm not 100%, but they don't do good in sunlight. And I was like, well, that's class. I don't know why I've never seen that before.
You do notice it though, like, as the movies go on, they do get darker and darker and darker. Like, Fellowship's basically all in the daylight. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's Bree, there's a couple of nighttime bits with the elves, but mostly the Fellowship's all during the day. And as the movies go on, there's less and less daylight, there's less and less sunlight and stuff. Obviously, I get it. I get the metaphor that's being put down. But just like, mwah, do you know what I mean? Like, so class.
It just makes sense is that as they get closer to Mordor,
and the more fucked it's getting.
Yeah, it's going to be darker because the orcs can't do the sunlight stuff.
Yep,
that, I mean,
of course.
The Uruk-hai can, but I think that was just Constance that happened to be at night.
Yeah.
It looks cooler in the movie anyway if it's done during the night.
100%.
But it's just, I don't know why it never done. It's only till we watched this, I was like, fuck, of course that is. Like, I've only seen this movie about 1 million times. Why is it never dawned on me?
100%. the fight with Gandalf and Minas Tirith does look really cool when like all the orcs are coming up and they all look pure fucked, and it's always a race between the two of us to be like, that one's you, that one's you.
Aye, the chief one, I imagine it is.
Yeah, that's you.
Aye.
And it's like, obviously, like, when they're the big wolf thing on fire trying to bar down the door, and it's like when he says, "Oh, your soldiers of Gondor, whatever comes through that door, hold your fucking post."
Yeah.
And then the big fucking trolls come through, and even Gandalf's like,
you just see his face. Fuck that.
100%. Obviously, on the other side of this, obviously Rohan's coming. They're on their way, and
yeah. Just a side note about that.
Yeah.
He changes his mind fucking rapid.
Doesn't he?
Like,
as soon as he sees the beacons are lit, and he's like, and Rohan relax on it. It's like, you were calling him a prick 5 minutes ago?
That's some joke. Imagine being a guy's up in the mountains. You're just waiting for a beacon.
Aye.
Like to be lit and say, fuck, I need to light mine. Imagine you're at, like, you just forgot.
But how long have you been sitting up there?
You know? Like, do you take shifts? What do you do?
Aye, like, is it just your job to post this one fucking bit of a mountain? Like, do you just, like, you go mental?
There's got to be at least 2 people doing it.
100%. You'd think, you'd hope so anyway. So, obviously, Rohan's on their way, and Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli go to speak to... I can't even remember the name. The undead army, basically.
Yeah.
The
traitors.
Yeah.
Like,
so basically, this kingdom, I cannot remember the guy's name. Fuck it. I don't really like this bit anyway, so I don't care. These guys were supposed to fight for Isildur, didn't show up. So Isildur cursed them until they
pay back their
oath.
Yeah. Like they repay their oath, then they can finally rest.
Exactly. Thank you. So Aragorn and your wee team goes in there, and it's that like an elf will go into a mine, but a dwarf dare not. Like,
I've never heard the end of it.
100%. And then Aragorn's like, you will submit to me. Now, obviously, the undead army are class because they come in, let a swarm of locusts and wipe every cunt out in 30 seconds.
I've got a problem with that.
I can't stand the whole bit. Like, see, the whole interaction with like the ghost army and Aragorn, and he's just a pure dick, and it's like, you fucked up. You're the reason your whole tribe is like this. Why you being an arsehole?
Yeah, the whole bit for them getting to the Hall of the Mountain of the Undead or whatever it's called, to them wiping out Minas Tirith is kind of that part of their story for me is boring.
I find the undead stuff boring.
It just feels like because Aragorn walks into the tent and Elrond's in, is it, we've done the sword for you again, is it? Did you not have done that when he was in Rivendell?
Yeah.
Why is it now you feel he's ready? Because he doesn't even feel ready himself.
Yeah.
Like, it makes...
But you know him personally, Ross?
No, but you see it in him.
No, I know what you mean.
But it kind of annoys me that even at the end of the Battle of Minas Tirith, is that it's just the undead army coming and wipe everything out, is it? It's such a cheap... Now, I don't know how they do it in the book. It might be different.
Well, this is the thing. So it is in... I've got it in useless information, but I'll just say it now.
Yeah.
So it is in the book, and apparently it's a big part of the third book. And Peter Jackson didn't want it. He didn't like it.
Yeah, no, it's...
And he didn't want the undead army in it at all. But he was basically told...
You have to.
Because, like, the diehard fans will go off their nut. Because if it wasn't for them, they don't win Minas Tirith, you know? So he didn't like it. He didn't want it. So, and I also wonder if that's why that bit never sticks, is because there's no, like...
It's probably not putting much effort into it.
Exactly, because, like, every other part of the movie's got, like, heart in it, whereas this has, like... Oh, all right, on you go. Do you know what I mean?
Like, and what annoys me, though, is... See when they toddle off to go into the mountain?
Yeah. They toddle off.
Just tell somebody.
Yeah, because
what you doing is, by the way, I've got a secret army here that will wipe everything out, but cool.
100%, because everyone's like, oh, they've shat it, like, oh, they've left because we're never going to win and all that. And it's like, just turn around and be like, by the way, I've got a secret plan
you think he would have told Theoden?
100%.
By the way, this is what's happening.
By the way, if this works, I'm going to win us this battle, but I need to go now. You hold the fort. Yeah. But everyone's like, oh, he knows we're going to lose, fucking meh. Like, not a boat.
Yeah. So we'll go back to the main fight before Rohan comes in. My favourite part favourite part of the battle is when it's before the actual fight starts, when they go to Osgiliath. That's where Faramir's first posted.
Right.
So see the bit where you see the boats and they're like, oh, they're coming in through this way. and there's like, there's no talk, but it's just they're all being really quiet and sneaking round the back. I really like that. Then you have the cool moment where, like, the basically the men abandon Osgiliath to ride back.
Yeah, the Age of Orc.
And it's like, and the Nazgul's chasing them.
Yep.
And you just see Gandalf come at the light. I was like, oh, that's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, class. And that mad, ugly looking things like the Age of Orc has begun. Like that.
That's my favourite start, like my favourite part of the Battle of Minas Tirith. Yeah.
Battle of Minas Tirith.
Yeah.
I'm not at the third one. No. A small part of the third one.
Because there's not a lot of fighting going on in this, and I say in this fight, you get what I mean?
But
a lot of trebuchets and all that.
100%. Yeah, you've got the fight of Minas Tirith, then it just goes straight into the fight of the Black Gate.
Yeah.
But like, whereas like the second one was like battle, like fights in between. And
there's
all
a lot
that.
of skirmishes going on in it, where this one is not so much.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, all revolves around. This kind of feels like this is like Sauron's like not last attempt, but his big attempt. He's been building for this for ages to, like, this is going to be the one that wipes out men.
100%. He sends in the Witch King to try and knock them all out, and obviously work out Eowyn, who, for all I have slagged, has quite possibly the best fucking bit. Where, the Witch King takes out Theoden, and he's like, no man can defeat me, and she's like, takes off her helmet like a pure bitch and is like, I am no man, stabs him in the face. So good. So every time I'm like, yes, so good. Like, but that's like the highlight of it for me. But I'm like, fucking say the line.
Yeah.
So obviously the men win Gondor. They're on the way to go to the Black Gate to buy Frodo and Sam time so they can still destroy the ring. So Frodo and Sam are getting led up to Shelob. Well, for what we know now is Shelob's lair. Shelob, the big fucking spider.
Yeah.
And I just think that bit is so... See, obviously, like, before you know that it's a giant fucking spider, right? Like, the lead up, like, he's already told Sam to get to fuck. It's just him and Gollum. Sam's pure like, ooh, and then finds all the crumbs and is like, fucking get
I've gone back up there.
Honestly, the fact that I have not went into a half an hour big up my guy Sam is showing dedication here, because I know that we do not have 4 hours, right? So like, Frodo's in the cave, it's all dark. See, even like, you see like the shine of the web, he's tripping over bones. You hear Gollum's voice echoing from different parts of the cave. Sets up so fucking well. And then he whips out the light that Galadriel gave him. And you don't even clock the spider.
No, you don't see it straight away. It
looks like it's in with the rock, and then you just see the pincers moving.
It's just the fangs moving. You're like, shit.
And then it fucking unfurls to the biggest fucking spider ever. And honestly, Ross, as an arachnophobe, I'm very proud of you.
Oh, I've seen this a million times.
Yeah,
that doesn't scare me anymore.
Don't care. But the Shelob bit is so class. And then even Big Sam comes again to save the fucking day, because that is all Sam does, is clean up Frodo's mess. Comes and fucking sorts him out. Oh, I like the Shelob bit, but see, when Sam comes in, I'm like, get up, you Frodo, you prick.
The thing is,
for fuck's sake, Frodo!
I wonder what happens to Shelob.
He stabs her in the stomach.
She doesn't die, she just runs away. I wonder what happens after it. Do you think that part gets destroyed in Mordor?
100%. I mean, basically the whole bit of Mordor, like, falls. Spoiler alert, guys, falls into the fucking floor.
Because I don't think she's a baddie. Like,
no, she's just a fucking spider.
The spider's wanting food, so I'm like,
aye.
Oh well.
Like, why then?
Yeah, so after that, once you get past the Shelob bit, it's essentially Sam and Frodo just race to get to
Mount Doom. While Gondor, Rohan, and all the other troops.
Yeah, the men are just trying to fight as much, like try and take all the attention away.
Yep, so that they can wire in.
Yeah, it kind of intersects between both at each point.
Totally, and like, when the mouth of Sauron shows up and it's like, Frodo's died, he suffered a lot, and Aragorn's like, I do not believe it. And it's like, right, this is such a minor thing and should probably be an A, right? But these soldiers have been panning their melts in since fucking Helm's Deep, right? They've fought at Helm's Deep. They literally an hour ago finished their fight at Minas Tirith, and then get Aragorn's like, right, Mom, we need to go and distract and buy Frodo time. I'd be like, no, not even a fucking nap, not even a post-battle snack.
I need a break.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm tired.
100%. But like, they end up like, there's 6,000 of them and 10,000 orcs, and it's like, fuck. And they get circled. And then it's that beautiful, like, for Frodo, and then the wee fucking hobbits start running in.
I just go
so
mental.
Good. So, while that's going on as well, intersects back to Frodo and Sam. Frodo's about to drop the ring into Mount Doom, and then fucking tries to pull an Isildur on us, and is like, no, the ring is mine. The final, for fuck's sake, Frodo, of the movie, like, don't fucking annoy me. I have been sitting here for 10 fucking hours,
get it tossed in.
Chuck that ring in the fucking volcano. And then obviously Gollum comes in, they have their fight. Gollum takes his finger, which I'm like, fucking karma.
Deserved, aye.
Fucking karma. You treat my man Sam better than that. Do you know what I mean? And then Gollum, he dies the way he wanted. He falls with his ring, you know? And like, with his precious. He got what he wanted, He got his precious.
Poor boy, man.
And then, but it's not even that, right? It's when Frodo's hanging, and obviously the ring hits the volcano, and you're like, phew. And then it lands on the crust, you know, before it melts. And I'm like, this is it. Like, it's never happening. Then obviously, Eye of Sauron falls, Mount Doom explodes, and everyone thinks that Frodo and Sam are dead. And then the Eagles are coming. The fucking Eagles come and get Sam and Frodo from Mount Doom. Now, we'll get into the Eagles in A, because I know you're going to moan at me, being like, me, but I have my thoughts and opinions.
As you've just pretty much said the whole end of the movie there, that's, well, ending number 1.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
But I want to mention before it's the scene where the eye's coming onto Frodo and that.
Yes.
And it's like the most daintiest fall he does.
Oh, yeah.
Like his wee arms are flailing and he just,
to my side.
What are you doing?
You see like the foot going behind the other foot so he can safely land.
He's doing like a little play in. Is it so dainty? Such a gentleman fall. Is it? Who are you kidding?
100%.
Like, I imagine when they filmed that, is it just doing the most ridiculous fall you can think of, and that's how he's come up with? And is it, oh, you know what? Fair enough, Elijah. That's getting kept in.
Why in, Elijah? Why in?
Yeah, just to rewind it back a wee bit, there's it, that bit always gets me. It's a slow motion, dainty fall, and is it? Fuck off.
Sorry, I forgot all about that bit. I was just like racing to the finish line, you know, because I do think this. I think we're over an hour at this point.
Oh God,
and we've still got useless information and Ace to do.
I care. I've got nothing but time. I don't care.
Aye, that's true. So obviously everyone has their issues with the 5 endings of the movie. When it's the extended edition, it's like 8, right? Now, if you say that you don't have an issue with the 5 fucking endings, you're a liar. You are a fucking liar. Because, again, I can't...
The ending lasts an hour.
Genuinely.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but I'm also like, see if they didn't have it now, I'd be like, no, hold on.
Aye, you're missing a bit, mate.
Aye,
100%.
Like, I want to see what happens when they go back to the Shire.
100%.
Like, what do you mean?
It's the ending that's my favourite is when Aragorn gets his crown.
Yeah, he gets crowned, aye.
And he gets back with Arwen, and then it's the hobbits, and he's like, my friends, you bow to no one.
Yeah.
I choke up every time. That's the bit when I'm like, and then everyone else is bowing, and I'm just like, my guys.
Yeah, so cool. Like, the endings are cool, like, but it's just at that stage, is it, right, my bum's getting numb 100%,
here. 100%,
just,
I need to go to the toilet now, yeah.
Like, leave, let's just finish, wrap up.
See the bit as well when Aragorn's getting crowned and you find out that Eowyn's with Faramir, right? Justice for my guy Faramir, right? He's been second best to his brother his entire life, and then he's second best to Aragorn for his bird, plus almost getting burned alive by his arsehole of dad.
Yeah, I was
like, poor Faramir.
You said that off life, didn't
I hope Faramir like moves on to be a good one. You know?
I hope they go and they just have loads of kids.
100%.
And just live what do you think he does in Gondor now?
Yeah, well,
he's got to be high up, hasn't he?
Yeah, I reckon Aragorn will still give him a position. You know,
he's got to, hasn't he? But do you think he's like
the sound one,
hanging of the military, like the soldiers, like leader of them? Or
he's
got to be into it.
Wired in. Like, you've got that ending, you've got the ending where they go back to the Shire, you've got the ending where they take Bilbo back. They take Bilbo to see the elves because they're on the last boat out of Middle Earth.
Valinor they're going to.
Wiring.
The grey, whatever it is, aye.
And you've got Bilbo turning around to Frodo and being like, "Oh, I would like to see my ring again." And Frodo's like, "Oh, I lost it." If I was Frodo, right, and Bilbo turned around and was like, "Oh, I'd love to see my ring again." Fuck you, big man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I've had to go through to get rid of that thing?
You dirty thieving bastard.
Do you know what I mean? See if it wasn't for you, but it fucking been in this mess. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously Frodo ends up, plot twist, going with Bilbo. Sam's in tears, Pippin's in tears, Merry's in tears. Oh my god.
I don't see that scene where they are at the harbour
Uh-huh.
and they're like, "Why do you need to go, Frodo?" And went, "Well, I've saved the Shire." Is it just tell them that you should have died when you got stabbed with the ringwraith?
100%.
Like he was dead and they brought him back. Same with Gandalf. Was it they could accept it with Gandalf that he got brought back, like just to finish this off? But with Frodo, is it? Nah, he was in rough nick. You're trying to tell me the helps helped him, is it?
100%. Move, you arseholes. 100%. And that concludes our overview.
Aye. The only thing about that though is that there's a 20-minute credits.
Oh,
is it
yeah.
just thanking him? Because when we hanged that, I was like, holy shit, like
20 minutes of credits, because we were like, is there an end credit scene that we've missed for the
I
past
was like,
20 years?
if there's something I missed, I'll be pissed. But 20 minutes just to thank everybody, that shows you the amount of people.
100%. And you know what? Like, when it gets to the end, you really, like, you can just tell, like, Peter Jackson managed to get basically the whole country of New Zealand in on this thing, you know?
Aye.
Like, 40 out of 10, and stands up, is perfect. Let's not lie, folks, there's probably bits we've missed out or glazed over, but this is an overview. If we were going into in-depth on everything, this would be a 6-hour fucking podcast, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we can't, like, there's a few people out on YouTube and that who are like, they go into deep dives of the lore and that.
Go watch them.
Yeah,
go
like
watch them.
they are great. Like,
I've
sat for hours, and some HQs that they'll go into, like what happened next. And it's like, because there's still the men who fought with Sauron and that. Like, they're really interesting. It's good stuff.
Yeah, you like stuff like that. We've also got, like, loads of books on, like, the artwork of Lord of the Rings, the history of Lord of the Rings, like, we've got all the fucking prints and all this kind of shit, like, you know your stuff as well, do you know what I mean? Like, you're mostly reading the books in many different formats, you know? Like,
it's just, like, these movies with the pop culture and that, it's just reignited the whole Lord of the Rings thing.
Totally, man, totally. And that's the thing is, like, even you hear people saying quotes from Lord of the Rings and not even knowing what it is, you know? Like, there's a guy in my work who can't stand Lord of the Rings, but knows, like, you shall not pass, and, like, they're taking the hobbits to Isengard. Like, do you know what I mean? Right, I'll dive into useless information. So, because there is so much information out there about how everything was done, I've just decided to pick, like, the light-hearted bits so that we're not sitting there being like, Peter Jackson used this kind of camera with this kind of filter. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm trying to keep it light-hearted, guys, because as well, there's so much information out there. Like, if I've missed anything, you probably already know it. Do you know what I mean? But I do want to start out useless information with a personal useless information. So, when I was a kid, obviously, when I think the first one had just coming out, because I remember for Christmas, I got loads of Lord of the Rings stuff for my Christmas, and, like, books all about it and stuff, and we had to do, like, projects in school. You could choose what you were doing a project about, so obviously your gal chose Lord of the Rings, and I did this huge, like, thing on, like, the alphabet of the elves and, like, the whole story of Lord of the Rings and all this kind of stuff, and, like, had taken it in, and my dad was taking me out for, like, a wee cup of tea and a cake to say, like, well done. And as we were walking by, we saw Billy Boyd in a photo shoot, and my dad was like, go and show him your project, and I was like, I couldn't possibly. Pure running over, like, hi Billy. And but, like, when Billy Boyd was finished, my dad sent me over, and I was like, hi, huge fan, whipped my fucking project out, showed him it, and he was like, this is so cool, signed it for me, and I took it back into school and I got a head teacher's award because he'd signed it and stuff. I think my dad still got it somewhere, but I was like,
that should be well kept. 100%.
Next time I'm up at my mum and dad's, I'll go and see if I can find it, but I was like super super cheese.
Oh, quite right.
So-
Rightly so.
I thought I'd chuck that in there, and then we'll dive into the actual useless information, you know. The franchise won 17 Oscars over the course of the 3 films. It has become the most nominated franchise in history, with 30 nominations all in. Previous films that held the record were the Godfather trilogy with 29 and the Star Wars franchise at 21.
Nice.
Viggo Mortensen can already speak 4 languages and actually asked the scriptwriters if they could contain more Elvish in his lines so that he could say that he can speak 5 languages. I was like,
fair enough, huh?
You smug prick. Andy Serkis based Gollum's cough on the sound that his cat made when it had a hairball.
That's cool.
Christopher Lee said that he'd read the Lord of the Ring books once a year and was the only castmate to have met J.R.R. Tolkien.
Oh, yeah. Was it in the army?
Yeah.
Christopher Lee had some life. Like,
Here.
if even half the things he claims is true, I'm like, what a life, man.
100%. Peter Jackson gave a copy of The One Ring to Elijah Wood and Andy Serkis as a wrap gift, but told each of them that they had the only one. So they believed for years that they were the only one to have the ring until they were on a talk show. I think it was Graham Norton, like years later, punting different things, and they found out that they both had it. They were like bastards.
That's just bamming each other up though, isn't it?
The film's swordmaster said that Viggo Mortensen was the best swordsman he had ever trained.
Nice.
When the ring drops and hits the floor of the set was magnetised to show the weight and the drop of the ring.
Oh, it's stuff like that.
Shit
It's just
like that is
like
so cool.
the movie making just so cool. Like come up with that.
Totally. Jonathan Rhys-Davies, who plays Gimli, had a terrible time with the beard. Constantly was coming out in rashes, was getting sores and cuts. So on the last day of filming, the crew built a ceremonial bonfire so that he could throw the beard into it and made it like a proper, like, Lord of the Rings looking burial thing.
Am I right in saying he was the tallest?
6'3", yeah.
He's the tallest actor as well.
100%.
That's brilliant.
They couldn't recruit enough 6-foot actors to play the Uruk-hai at Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
So they hired multiple 5-foot and under actors and called them the Uruk-Lo. I love that. And like you said earlier on, the New Zealand Army was also recruited for the Battle of the Black Gate because they couldn't get enough extras.
Yeah. That's amazing. Like,
I mean, they basically hired the whole of fucking New Zealand
yeah,
for like 3 years.
All of them got a job at it, didn't
100%. Well, there's like stories, like Billy Connolly says it when he was like making The Hobbit and he's like dressed in his full gear just going out for a drink and all these people are like, all right, how you doing? And I'm sure there's other like Ian McKellen stories where he's like in his Gandalf road going to get like a pack of smokes and all these guys are like, hey, how you doing? Like,
yeah, it must just be such a common thing now for New Zealand. Like what that's done for New Zealand is phenomenal. Because
100%.
as much as it looks great in that, like in the movies, New Zealand just looks stunning.
100%. That's like our dream holiday, isn't it? Like I want to wait until we've got fucking megabucks so that we can just go and we can pay
just
to
live
do
it Hobbiton.
Totally, we can do like every experience. Like, honestly, the actual dream. Multiple family members of the cast were cast as extras in the film. Sean Astin's daughter plays Samwise's daughter at the end of Return of the King.
Okay.
An orc that Aragorn kills in one of the battles is Viggo Mortensen's son. And J.R.R. Tolkien's great-grandson plays a Gondor soldier.
Cool.
I was like, well, Aaron. Right, now jump into the bit that you love the most of who was almost
I already know one of them, but it breaks my heart every time.
Okay. Nicolas Cage, Russell Crowe, Vin Diesel, and Stuart Townsend were up for the role of Aragorn. As we obviously said in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen episode, Stuart Townsend got the role and was literally, the day before filming, got told that he was too young and got replaced with Viggo Mortensen. And the man's career's never took
survived. Off. No, far from it.
He did Queen of the Damned, and I'm not being funny, as great as that movie is, it's a pile of shite, do you know what I mean?
Queen of the Damned was his movie after, wasn't it?
Yep.
And I was like, I'm sorry, mate. Like,
yep.
I mean, it's worked out better because I think Viggo's would have done a far better job.
100%.
But nah, Stuart Townsend, I'm sorry,
That's a
mate.
pure
Like,
sin.
I've not done anything to you, but I'm sorry.
We slag you daily.
Yeah, for a guy that doesn't deserve it, it's been hard done by. I'm sorry, mate.
Daniel Day-Lewis also turned down the role of Aragorn, which is fine by me because I can't fucking stand Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, he'd have been too much.
I can't stand him, man. Take a day off.
Yeah, I'd have been far too much.
Ethan Hawke and Matt Damon were up for the roles of Legolas. Sean Connery turned down the role of Gandalf because he didn't understand the material. Prick. Jake Gyllenhaal turned down the part of Frodo, which I'm quite happy about because Jake Gyllenhaal's another one that I can't stand. And David Bowie turned down the role of Elrond, given us Hugo Weaving.
I could see Bowie's Elrond, that'd
That'd
be
be
cool.
eh?
Aye.
Cool.
I know, I could see Bowie being an elf. Like,
Bowie wasn't a bad actor, like Labyrinth and all that.
no.
Obviously, he's a big ham and stuff. Apparently, he's in some vampire movie called The Hunger. I've never seen it, but apparently he's in that, and he's also very good.
oh,
Big up
decent.
Bowie, man. Right, we'll jump into E. I really don't have a lot.
I've got two,
Right.
and I'll just go with mine first, right?
Aye, why them?
So, the intro of this movie said Kate Blanchett's basically going on about explaining what happened, like 9 rings for 9 people, yada yada, right?
Yep.
You have the battle, Isildur chops off,
Isildur!
like, Aragorn's great-great-grandpappy, whatever it is, right? Chops off the finger, as soon as he gets to Mount Doom to throw it in, he doesn't do it. Elrond's there with him. Why doesn't Elrond just push him in?
Do you know what I mean?
Like,
Save us all the hassle.
You, get fuck, and get in there.
And then is that just another war between men and elves, you know?
They don't... Who's
yeah,
there?
who needs to know? Exactly, who needs to know?
But like the ring took him in with it.
Oh, he tripped me.
Aye.
100%.
Like that's all.
Fuck's sake, Elrond.
Knowing this, I've thought about it, my only argument is Elrond always knows he can fuck off to the Valinor. He's like, mate, this is your problem.
Aye, 100%.
Like that one's it's always annoyed me. Is that why not just simply push him in?
Yeah.
Like he's there now. And my next one is, and this I mentioned this to you, is that now Gandalf gets caught by Saruman and Isengard at the top of his tower, right? Loses his staff.
Yep.
He escapes because of the eagles.
Fucking.
Right? Well, how'd you get his staff back?
Yeah, you said that. I gets his, and then, well, I mean, the Eagles are a fucking loophole for Everton, right? So I'm assuming the Eagle had it, right? But
so the Eagles managed to fly it at Isengard,
100%.
hang his Saruman,
100%.
use that staff.
Yep, that's exactly what happened. Because then he does it again, Minas Tirith, mind, when the Witch King scalps
The Witch King, destroys it.
Aye.
Gets
and
it
then
back.
next minute he's got it back. Aye.
Does it just like reform or something?
Aye, that's as soon as he becomes Gandalf the White, he's like, ah ha ha.
I could just do this. That's my only two.
I've got 2 and 1 that you'll prove me wrong, but I just want to moan about it, you know. Aragorn's accent changes about 40 times in this franchise. He goes from fucking Yorkshire to Irish to like American to something else.
It's the funniest bit is because I assume it must have all been filmed at a sequence like for. So I think they filmed the Two Towers Return of the King
back to back.
So they might have filmed certain bits like this in Two Towers and that. So he's had the accent. It's the bit where he's at the Black Gate and it's the most Irish accent ever. There's like open the gate and is it? But you've been fine this whole movie. What are you doing?
Why are you Irish?
It's still at a place.
100%.
Oh, it's hilarious.
I'm not mad about it though. Like, do you know that way? Like, in other movies, if people can't hold the accent, I'm like, why are you doing the accent? Do you know what I mean? Like, as much as I love the movie Saltburn, where the fuck is Barry Keoghan from? Do you know what I mean? Because it's supposed to be Liverpool, and I think he's from everywhere but Liverpool.
Yeah,
do you know
if
what
you
I mean?
can't do it,
then just say, like, be like, okay, if you want me this badly to be in your film, we're gonna need to change it to something. Do you know what I mean?
But what I don't get is, if at the start of this trilogy, he has an Irish accent.
Yeah, and then it goes away.
I don't know where in Lord of the Rings book it says an Irishman, like with an Irish accent. That must have been a choice between him, Peter Jackson, and that. But like, get an Irish accent
and
in there.
And then nobody's noticed when he's dropped it. Yeah.
Because I don't know where his accent would be from, because as far as I'm aware, he was brought up in Rivendell
Yeah.
because
They're all posh as fuck,
but
aren't they?
it's a weird thing is that the heir of Isildur, they're all being brought up there, and the only reason he got chucked out is because like he was in love with Arwen, and Elrond was like, "Are you going to be a ranger now, young man?"
Aye, fuck up.
Aye. So he's basically you're going nowhere near my daughter.
Aye.
Like away you go.
Piss off. Aye, because everybody for the Shires get that mad Yorkshire accent
Aye.
on the go and that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can understand like certain
Baldy
regions
dolls.
having their bit. That's fine, but Rivendell was Irish.
Yeah.
Like, gosh no.
I wiring. Also, this is just a daft one. Who's the body piercer in Mordor? Because all of the orcs have like nose rings, lip rings, fucking eyebrow piercings, like their whole cartilage, like pirate ear piercings and that. Like, who's setting up a piercing business in Mordor?
I drink the pie well.
Or drink this is, what is it? My dad always says it's like henchman wanted.
Yeah.
No pension, must be willing to die at a moment's notice. Yeah. Right. Ross, we've got to the Eagles, my man. Those
It
fucking
doesn't
Eagles.
bother me.
Now, I understand. The Eagles are a huge part in the book. I understand why they're there, right? I get it. But it pisses me off every time, right? Because I understand that they're coming in last minute to help out Gandalf, right? And obviously, great timing, guys. Do you know what I mean? But then the Eagles seem to be used as like plots of convenience.
Yeah.
For like in The Hobbit, like is it I know again it's been years since I've seen The Hobbit.
So they're in the forest, I believe it is, isn't
right?
it?
And then the Eagles take them basically halfway to where they need to fucking go, but then don't drop them any further. And it's like, or you could just take them the whole way. Do you know what I mean? It's like the Eagles go and save Gandalf, and then they're nowhere to be seen again until it's time for Sam and Frodo to get rescued. Do you know what I mean?
So the thing with the Eagles is that they're not like supernatural or like super like strength and that. Like they are just birds, so they couldn't fling them into Mordor because they have dragons and stuff. Like they would get wiped out.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think because I was looking at, I've looked this up a few times, and it's basically that Tolkien used them sparingly enough, just because he's like, yeah, this could be cheap.
Right.
Like
okay.
so.
It is cheap.
Yeah. Like I can understand like the arguments for it. Like, but like, no, they shouldn't have done it. But it's also like there's a lot of things in it that they don't like. People like Gandalf should have done this, and it's that, but they don't serve Gandalf. Is it they're friends with Gandalf? Is like there's no like working relationship here. Is it we'll come and help you if you need help, but don't ask for our help all the time.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I get it. Do you know that way? It's not like I just find them weak. Like I find them a weak plot point, and that's like with the book as well. Do you know what I mean? Like that's a weak plot point in the source material. You know, like and I understand. I'm not one of those ones that's like, well, the Eagles could have taken them all the way, and then there wouldn't be a film. Like I'm not one of those ones. But it is just really fucking annoying. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how else Sam and fucking Frodo would get done for there either. Do you know what I mean?
They fully expected to die.
Yeah, right. I'm so happy that like my Eagle's up here to save my guy Sam. Fuck Frodo. Like thanks for saving Sam. But I do just think it's weak in the source material. Like it's just fucking annoying. Do you know what I mean? Especially when Pippin's like, the Eagles are coming. How the fuck do you know about the Eagles?
Yeah, a lot of the stuff in this in these books and the movie is kind of those that, all right, we're in trouble here. Here's something else coming to save the day.
Yeah.
Like 100%. It's not exactly like the history and the lore of this is intricate. But the story itself is, oh, we're in trouble. Here's the army of the dead.
Yeah.
Oh, we're in trouble. Here's Gandalf with the riders. Do you know what I mean? There's no real, like, it's kind of that. It's a recurring thing within it.
Totally.
But as I said, they don't annoy me, but I can understand why it would be annoying to some people.
No, I get you.
Because they are used any time when there's generally no way they could win. Here's the Eagles. It's a bit bullshit.
It's in The Hobbit when like they take them halfway. Like they're not even going anywhere. Like, do you know what I mean? It takes them halfway to where they need to be, and it's like, could you not taking them 3/4 of the way?
Yeah.
Like, basically just less fucking Hobbit movies.
It's just, as they say though, is that they're not, like when they come and help, if they said take me all this way, is it, well, we've done you a favour by helping you, like you can
sit the
you
fuck
make
down.
your own way.
100%.
I'd be like getting a lift off your pal. Is it where you going? So, okay, I was going here, but take me to London. They'd be like, get fucked.
Aye, boat.
Aye, like I'm not going out my way to do that for you.
Yeah. Now, as well, this isn't an A. This is just a point, right? Now, Peter Jackson, the man himself, can make 3 spectacular, perfect, beautiful, minimum flaw movies, right? Then he makes The Hobbit. The Hobbit let him down so bad. And I get it, because he went on, was it after The Hobbit, he went on to make that, is it Mortal Instruments?
Yeah.
And stuff. And it's like, I understand CGI is a beautiful thing, but fucking wrap it. Do you know what I mean? Like, and obviously he did King Kong as well, but then King Kong was like right after Lord of the Rings, so that was still when he was like at the height of his powers. Do you know what I mean? I just think it's a shame. It's a real shame because these 3 movies are perfect and the Hobbit movies are shit. But I suppose the Hobbit is like a tiny little book. Like, he had to take things out of Lord of the Rings to make these.
Yeah, he had to flesh this book out.
Yeah, like he had to add things into the Hobbit to make the Hobbit longer, but had to take things out of Lord of the Rings to keep it this way. Do you know what I mean?
See, I think with the Hobbit though, is the production of that wasn't great either. Because remember, he wasn't meant to direct them.
Oh, right, okay.
It was actually Guillermo del Toro was signed up to do it, and he only had to leave because of the amount of delays. But as far as I'm aware, they started production and the script was written for him to do it, so it had elements of him. So I think rather than tearing it all down, starting again, they've kind of had to carry on from him. So you don't get the same feeling like that Peter Jackson would have done it. Whether or not they would have allowed him to do it at that time as well, like, I don't know, because maybe it was because the filmmaking was easier or something. I'm not sure. But there is a remarkable difference between The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, man.
I even like stuff like, because they bring back Legolas in it, and I get why you're doing it, but
pure member.
Yeah, there's definitely no need for it.
Nah.
And it just doesn't look the same. Like,
it's the barrel scene, see when they're going through the river,
Jesus,
and it looks like they're in a cartoon. Like, it's not great. And I think that's the thing, is obviously, like you say, like, if it wasn't Peter Jackson's original project, but there's no even attempt at doing anything practically. Everything's CGI.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, the technology to do what they done for the CGI is cool.
Yeah,
it wasn't like there's no need for it.
Nah, totally.
Like that thing when we watch the behind the scenes, and he is literally, it's just an empty room, and he's got the camera thing out, and it shows you the whole of Rivertown. I'm like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
He's directing a movie, but I'm saying that he's directing a movie and he can't see it. Is it? Maybe he should be able to see it. Like that. That's got to be your main thing, surely.
100%. Will we dive into worst guy whose hairline just eaten?
That's an easy one for me. Big Grimmer Wormtongue.
Oh, really?
Oh, aye.
Right, okay. I've got the Steward of Gondor. Big.
Aye, he's an arsehole and all.
Denethor. I also have got Frodo in the third one.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Frodo in the third one. Respect my guy Sam.
Yeah, I mean, Grimmer Wormtongue for me, his motives are more sinister, so I'm like, oh no, you're
actually the worst guy.
He's doing it to get Elwyn. I was like, nah, you're bad, man. You're a bad man.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I've just got Denethor because he's a celebrity, lechy, creepy little shit.
He's just useless.
Yeah, and Frodo in the third one purely for my treatment of Sam.
Yeah.
Like, Sam deserves everything.
Yeah, he deserves better.
Do you know what I mean? It's a stupid question. I'm out.
No.
Never.
No.
Never. It's like a pleasure and an honour and a privilege to be like, do you want to do Lord of the Rings marathon?
Oh, any time.
That was how we spent New Year's Day, and it was so beautiful.
Oh, it was stunning,
it was great. I loved it. Well, guys, it may have been a slog for you, but we loved it, and we kind of hope this made sense. Like,
it probably doesn't, but it was a good laugh.
Totally. If we've missed anything out, let us know. We've got Blue Sky now, just again 10.10 WWA. We're still over on Instagram. And obviously, you are listening to us wherever you listen to podcasts. So if we've missed anything out, or if you've got any fun facts or useless information, let us know. Drop a wee comment. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.